In this episode of Things Our Brain Can't Handle, we're going to look at some truly remarkable optical illusions. And we're going to embark on a thought experiment as we try to comprehend exponential growth. Also in this episode, why our brains can't handle a simple keep off the grass sign. We're going to look at the fascinating psychology behind desire paths. Trust me, it's far more interesting than it sounds. That's all coming up later, but first, I'm going to do a selective attention test with you. I need your full attention for this. Focus on the cup containing the ball. How did you do? If you selected the correct cup at the end, well done. Let's do it again, but this time I'm going to make it a little bit harder. I'm going to try it with 9 cups. Focus on the cup containing the coin. If you managed to select the correct cup at the end of the exercise, that's impressive. But did you notice the frog? Here's an optical illusion which requires you to physically alter the distance between your eyes and your screen. If you're watching this on TV, you may need to get up and walk closer to the screen if it's safe to do so. I want you to cover over your right eye with your hand and focus on the X. Move closer to the screen. Move closer until the man's head seems to disappear. Once it disappears, stop right there. Don't move. Keep focused on the X. In your peripheral vision, his body is visible, but his head is now gone. I'm now going to introduce a black bar. In your peripheral vision, you can see all of the black bar, but still the head is missing. This optical illusion exploits the blind spot in our visual field. Each eye has a blind spot where the optic nerve exits the retina. Our brain can't detect the head, so fills in the missing information with the surrounding background. The black bar remains visible in your peripheral vision because it extends beyond the blind spot. Let me know if that worked for you. For this next illusion, I want you to focus on the white dot in the center of the screen. Don't take your eyes off it. Starting now. Keep staring at that dot. In 30 seconds, I'm going to change the image, but I still want you to keep your focus on that dot throughout. Just a few more seconds now. Don't let your focus move away from that white dot, even when the image changes. In that second image, you saw a beautiful and colourful beach scene. But actually, the image that you really saw was black and white. If you don't believe me, rewind and play that section again. I'd love to know your thoughts on this one in the comments. Schroeder's stairs. As I turn over the image, you'll notice that the upside down image does look different, but it can snap back to its original form instantly, either involuntarily or with a blink of your eye. Our brain is continually trying to make sense of our 3D world from the 2D image formed on our retina. It seems we are collectively and instinctively drawn to creating our own pathways. And like ants, the result is much bigger than anything we could create individually. It's a fascinating subject, and it's coming up next. Don't miss my exponential growth thought experiment straight afterwards. It's out of this world. This path here in Stafford is genius. It's sophisticated and highly tuned for maximum efficiency. It's a work of art. It connects several points in the neighbourhood in the most efficient way possible. A computer program couldn't do a better job. An award-winning architect couldn't have designed this for greater utility. This path connects that pedestrian crossing with that housing estate. It's defined and heavily used. It's efficient and absolutely necessary. At this point, there's a junction with another path. This one goes from an unofficial pedestrian crossing to a tarmac path at the side of the estate. I say it's an unofficial crossing because an official crossing doesn't exist, but it connects foot traffic from that estate to this estate. After the junction, there's a fork in the road. This path takes you to a different neighbourhood. This path takes you to a tarmac path at the side of the housing estate. It's a sophisticated and well-designed pathway system, serving the people of this area extremely well. Residents of this estate can walk down Kensington Drive and join the pathway system. They can turn right, cross the non-existent crossing and join a path to gain access to the neighbouring estate. They can go straight on for access to the official crossing, which gives them access to Staffordshire University and a business district. Or they can turn left and join the tarmac path, or turn left but then branch off to the neighbouring estate. It would be nice to credit local planners with this design. It would be nice to say the local council planning department had anticipated the needs of local residents and then went on to design this pathway system for this brand new development. But of course the opposite is true. No thought at all was given to pedestrians around here. During the planning stage of this development, I can only assume that the experts expected everyone to leave this estate by car. No one has designed this pathway. It's just emerged. And it hasn't emerged out of defiance or any particular emotion. It's emerged from collective instinct. Several people test out a shortcut across grass. Some of these shortcuts aren't popular, but one is, and a faint trail starts to emerge. After 15 more traversals, a faint path emerges. Thousands of footsteps later, the ground reshapes itself. These paths map collective need. It literally is democracy in dirt. If the council were to come here to pave over this network of pathways, they'd likely win a design award. They'd be praised for the efficiency, effectiveness, and functionality of their design, applauded for the time they've saved local residents. They'd probably receive the highest acclaim for putting a pedestrian crossing here after identifying that hundreds of people clearly cross it each week. But we all know that the design is the product of instinct and shared thought. No one council employee or architect could design this pathway system with greater utility. During the development of University of California's Berkeley campus, the architects and designers did their best at anticipating where the walkway should go. Within a few years, though, desire paths emerged. Thousands of footprints carved out the earth, telling the planners exactly where the paths needed to go. Their next move was a stroke of genius. They could have enforced strict keep off the grass policies, but instead they decided to pave over the desire paths. Now their campus works much better for foot traffic. Each path is perfectly designed to cut down on wasted effort. Journey times have been reduced and the key journeys through the campus have been identified. These paths stand as a reminder that sometimes the best designs follow a path that people have already chosen to tread. They could do that here, but I'm not holding my breath. Paving over these pathways and creating a new pedestrian crossing would be a smart move. The people have already told them what they need, but it's quite often the universities, not the councils, who have the foresight to act on what the people have already chosen. Perhaps the most famous example is from the Ohio State University. The original campus design was apparently inspired by the layouts of old English manor houses, with formal paths skirting the edges of the oval. Yet students, ever pragmatic, ignored these detours, trampling straight across the grass to dash between lecture halls, libraries and dorms. Before long, we had a network of desire paths. By 1911, Joseph Bradford, the university's architect, found them impossible to ignore. Legend has it, he took a balloon ride over the university to get a good view. From that vantage point, he viewed a pedestrian paradise that cuts travel time and feels intuitively right, blending utility with understated beauty. In the 1960s, Michigan State University took it one step further. They had designed a huge university, but designing a pathway system, anticipating routes, utility, and user demand was a seemingly impossible task. So they didn't build any. They just grassed over every inch of the campus and let the students tell them where the paths needed to go. Within a few years, they knew exactly where to lay their paths. Countless thousands of footsteps told them exactly where they needed to go. Desire paths are a window into the psychology of human navigation. These tracks, often defying formal urban designs, speak of deep-seated instincts, group dynamics, and the quiet rewards of following the crowd's lead. At their core, desire paths satisfy an evolutionary need for efficiency. Our ancestors, navigating vast savannas or dense forests, prioritised paths that minimised energy while maximising safety. The brain's navigational systems evolved to optimise route finding, favouring directness over detours. Desire paths are modern echoes of this instinct as we subconsciously calculate the shortest, safest route between points. Desire paths aren't just individual choices, they are collective creations. Humans are social animals, and our brains are tuned to follow cues from others. It's a phenomenon called social proof. When we see a worn trail, we interpret it as evidence of a trusted route, validated by countless others. Over time, as more feet tread the same line, the path deepens, reinforcing its legitimacy. Today, we might call it a feedback loop. Desire paths show how humans, without explicit coordination, create order from chaos, revealing a shared mental map of what's practical and intuitive. And if that's not enough, we get a dopamine hit from efficiency. Shaving seconds off a walk triggers the brain's reward system. It's like solving a puzzle. Desire paths are more than shortcuts. They are psychological artifacts of our evolutionary past, collective instincts, and craving for efficiency. They remind us that our brains and our communities thrive when we trust our feet to lead the way. For me, it's all a little bit reassuring. Take one look at the news or social media, and it seems as though we live in a world of polarised views and opinions. There's so much that divides us. But desire paths remind me that below our differences lies a shared instinct to find a better way. Imagine you're sitting at a chessboard and you place one coin in the corner square and then move along the squares, doubling up the coins as you go. How many coins would you have on the last square, and how high would they go? Let's start with one coin on the corner square. We're going to double that up to 2 coins on the second square, 4 coins on the third square, 2, 4, 6, 8 coins on the fourth square. I've already counted these out. 16 coins on the fifth square. 32 coins on the sixth square. 64 coins on the seventh square. Well, there's 60 there, and there's another 4. 64, and 128 coins on the 8th square. That's 120, and we'll add 8 on the top. Each coin is 1.85 millimeters thick, making the stack 23.68 centimeters tall. It's less than a foot and shorter than a school ruler. Let's move on to the second row now by doubling this previous column of coins of 128 to 256 coins. At the end of the second row on square 16, we're now at 32,768 coins. This makes the stack 60.62 metres tall, or 198 feet. That's about the height of an 18-storey building. Let's now double 32,768. Square 17 at the start of the third row now has a column of 65,536 coins. On square 24 at the end of the third row, we're stacking 8,388,608 coins. The column of coins reaches 15.52 kilometres high. That's taller than the maximum altitude of commercial jetliners. The coin tower is now poking through the stratosphere where the sky begins to turn dark. Let's now double 8,388,608. Square 25 now holds a column of 16,777,216 coins. On square 32 at the end of the fourth row, we've got a column of 2,147,483,648 coins. The stack is 3,972 kilometres tall, or about 2,466 miles. That's way past the edge of space and higher than the orbit of the International Space Station. Our chessboard is beginning to groan under the weight of all these coins. Let's now double 2,147,483,648. Square 33 at the start of the fifth row now holds a column of 4,294,967,296 coins. On square 40, at the end of the fifth row, we've now got 549,755,813,888 coins. The stack stretches 1,016,491.87 kilometres high, or about 631,000 miles. That's more than twice the distance to the moon. And we haven't even started row 6 yet. Let's now double 549,755,813,888. Square 41 now has a column of 1,099,511,627,776 coins. The top of the column of coins, now standing at the end of row 6, is now deep into the solar system. By square 48, we're stacking 140,737,438,355,328 coins. The stack is 260,165,153 kilometres tall, or about 161 million miles. That's much further than Mars, and getting closer to Jupiter. Square 49 now holds a column of 281,476,710,656 coins. On square 56, at the end of the seventh row, I'm not gonna lie, our column of coins is beginning to get a little wobbly. The column is made up of 36 quadrillion, 28 trillion, 797 billion, 18,963,968 coins. The stack reaches 66,653,274,939 kilometres, or about 41 billion miles. That's over 3 times the distance to the heliopause, the solar system's practical edge, and about 23% of the way to the Oort Cloud. Please allow me just 20 seconds to plug this channel. Very Nearly Interesting is a brand new channel and I need all the help I can get. Please click that like button if you've enjoyed this video. That's how YouTube knows you like it and they'll show it to more people. And please consider subscribing. That way I might see you again. And now you can support the channel on Patreon, where you'll find exclusive content and a grateful me. There's a link in the channel description. Square 57 now has a column of 72 quadrillion, 57 trillion, 594 billion, 37,927,936 coins. The final column of coins standing on square 64 on our chessboard consists of 9 quintillion, 223 quadrillion, 372 trillion, 36 billion, 854,775,808 coins. The stack soars to 17 trillion, 63 billion, 238,169,244 kilometres. kilometres, or about 10.5 trillion miles. The top of the coin stack would be halfway to our nearest star neighbour, Alpha Centauri. The light from the coin sat at the very top of the column would take almost 2 years to reach me here at the chessboard. The coins on the chessboard in front of me come to less than £25. To complete this exercise I've just gone through, in real time, with real money, it would have cost me 1.8 million times the UK gross domestic product. And I didn't do that. To be honest with you, I'm a little short at the moment. I'd love to know your thoughts about anything that you've seen in this video. Please let me know in the comments. If you've enjoyed this video, please click the like button. That way YouTube will show it to more people. And please consider subscribing. That way I might see you again. And please have a look at some of the other content on the channel. There's lots of interesting things on there. Well, very nearly interesting.